So I'm in my second night at hospital. In the past week, I've had 2 asthma attacks. One being quite severe, and I had to have a 2-night stay in hospital. So I'm just documenting my journey through this, not only to raise awareness. I'm not an asthmatic. Well, I am now. I wasn't prior to that episode, and it was brought on by nothing. And I'm also documenting it for my own self because I struggle with dissociation, part of stuff that's happened through my life, and as far as I'm concerned, this has not happened to me. So to start off, we did have a little bit of a virus in the house. I have 3 kids, you know, kinder, high school, school, they all bring home stuff. And the little bloke, my youngest 4-year-old, had been, you know, not hugely unwell, but had been unwell. I've caught it. And then I do have a history of viral asthma as a child, which is usually brought on by like coughing fits. But I didn't have any of that. I had my 40th, which I posted. So it's all like after that time. So I've had my 40th, I was doing all right. And then, yeah, I just was laying low, taking it easy, and went to pick up my kids from kinder and school and had a full-blown asthma attack in the car park at kinder. So that was pretty crazy. I feel a bit bad for my kids, but they were very, especially my middle daughter was very grown up, and I'm so proud of her. She took her little brother under her wing. My dad happened to be like seriously 500 meters away, across the road at the chemist. So that was convenient timing. So he came. It was just crazy. I went to the hospital. They kept me in for obs for about 5-6 hours, maybe longer. And I got let out at midnight. So I was sent home with steroids and a Ventolin puffer, which is this puffer. I didn't have one of these at the time because I'm not an asthmatic. I did, however, have this puffer, which is Atrovent, because of the viral asthma that I've had in the past. This was prescribed to me. Wasn't helping. So yeah, basically sent home with this and steroid drugs, you know, prednisone. Go through the weekend, I'm fine. Got a bit better, got to like Tuesday, had a doctor's appointment Tuesday as a follow-up, because I'd been on 4 days of steroids at this point. He was concerned with my breathing. I wasn't able to get sentences out without trying to catch my breath. I did have a bit of a wheeze, but I was kind of like, you know, I felt really good that morning, ironically. And I just wanted to have a good day. It was ruining my plans. So I did a burst session at the doctor's, which is Ventolin and Atrovent, 12 puffs. 12 puffs every 20 minutes for an hour. And so I had 12 puffs of this one and 2 puffs of the Atrovent. So it's 36 puffs in an hour, and I come so good. It was, yeah, I was great. I went to the pet shop, went and got my medicine, took Cooper out for a little bit of a run, took him to McDonald's. I was doing fabulous. And yeah, then about 4 hours later, it really became evident that I was struggling. I was having the Ventolin quite a lot. I was doing burst sessions at home under the doctor's instruction, which was the same 10 and 2, every 20 minutes for an hour. Generally, after the hour, you come good, and you really shouldn't need it for probably 4 hours, you know, but you can have Ventolin every hour. So I'm out of breath, so I'm gonna have some medicine. Hang on. Sorry. So I woke up at 4 o'clock on the Wednesday morning and I couldn't breathe. Like, I had a very strong wheeze, and I felt like my left side of my chest and the back was just like squashed. Getting it in was all right, but like getting it out was just so unbelievably hard. So I did a burst session at 4 a.m. That made me good till 8. So I did the burst session for an hour, and then 5 to 8 I fell asleep. Kids got me up, same thing, woke up, couldn't breathe. Did another burst session while I was running them to school. And then like throughout the day, it was just like every 40 minutes, an hour, needing a burst session, like ridiculous. So I called my husband was at work. I have my son at home with me. And I said, I'm gonna have to go, So I called my husband to come home while I was on the phone to the ambulance. And they pretty much got here at the same time. Cooper was brilliant. He was such a good boy. He let them in and helped with me, and, you know, he was very concerned, but he was such a good boy, like, poor kid. So I went to Sunshine Hospital. Unfortunately, there was no beds for me in the short stay, and I needed asthma therapy. So I was put into the triage with a nurse for 3 hours. I literally sat in a chair 3 hours. I did not move. The nurses came every hour, gave me a burst session, and I just waited. Not the hospital's fault, not the staff's fault at all. It's just the system is so bad. And it was very busy. And I just kept focusing on my breathing, getting air in, getting air out, having my Ventolin as I needed it, and getting assessed. They were very good. The nurses were very good. 5 o'clock, I got picked up from triage by a beautiful nurse named either Marissa or Mariska. She was just an angel. So lovely. And by the time I made it, I went from a chair to a wheelchair to this ISO area room. I had my own room. I'd had a full-blown asthma attack. And yeah, that's where I'm going to put a trigger warning. I have recordings of me in hospital because I was communicating with my husband. He was obviously very concerned. And I was in hospital by myself. I didn't have a support person. So I'm going to insert all of my days in hospital now. Wasn't on the forefront of my mind to be recording at that point. I wasn't well. But I'm kind of glad that I did, because in my head, I wasn't that sick. And I was just going to get some Ventolin and get out of there. And it was 3 days later. But anyway, so trigger warning, this is all of me in hospital. And then I will have a chat to you after that about some neurological testing that I also had to go through. That's the ISO door. That's the other door. So they talk to me through there. I'm actually struggling a little bit. They're checking because of this head bob. And there's something here. And that whole side. So yeah, anyway. Look how fat it is. So I'm in my second night at hospital. I had another asthma attack and now I've got pneumonia as well. But I'm doing a lot better, especially tonight, than I have like all day. So hopefully home tomorrow. But I'm still breathing a bit heavy, but not as bad. So we're on day 3. I just got breakfast delivered. That's here. Cornflakes and some juice and some fruit. Doing a lot better. There's still a little bit of that heavy, shallow breathing type thing, but not like yesterday's Bob. And oh my God, the whiplash. Like the pain around my neck and all in here is so sore. It's still a bit swollen in this particular muscle. They've been doing some testing all night and like strength testing. Still quite fatigued on this left side, but a lot better, I think. I feel a lot better. So now I've got to wait for the respiratory team and then maybe home today so I can continue to get better. So the respiratory team were fabulous and they were very concerned about how I was breathing and the particular muscles I was using. And I have a history of autoimmune diseases. So I've had Graves' disease, adenomyosis, I have celiac disease. And Graves' disease, although cured, I don't have a thyroid. I had that removed 18 years ago. The damage Graves' disease does to your body is irreversible. In particular, muscle tone. Something that it just really attacks is muscle tone. I don't understand why. I have always had weakness like the left side after it, but for years, nothing, you know. And this breathing was all left side. It was this side of my head that was bobbing. The weakness was on this side. So I had a lot of testing done while I was there. They ended up getting a neurologist to come down. They were very honest. They were checking me for, I don't know how to say it. So they were checking me for myasthenia gravis. I'll put it here. It's very hard to say. It's basically an autoimmune disease. It's linked to asthma. It's also linked to Graves' disease and MND, motor neuron disease. It's basically your muscles and receptors and nerves and everything aren't working and sending messages to the brain, and it causes respiratory failure. So I didn't tell anyone because I was on day 2 of hospital and didn't want anyone to know. I didn't tell my husband. I told Claire. Claire's my best friend, and yeah, I just told her. And I said, I know you're gonna Google it. So please hope I don't have that. And I sat with God for a bit. Autoimmune diseases aren't like anything I'm not familiar with, and I just turned 40. I really wanted this part of my life to be a lot more healthier. And yeah, I didn't want another autoimmune disease, especially that one. Like, yeah, that would significantly reduce my lifespan, my, you know, will to live. So yeah, I just sat with that until I saw the neurologist. She was pretty confident. And then I just let my husband and Claire know that it wasn't that. Doesn't look like that. And they did like bloods and stuff. So they were very happy the next day that my strength, like overnight, on that second night stay, I had to get up every, I think it was 2 or 3 hours, and I would do like strength exercises. And especially like coming in and out of sleep, you would expect that if you don't see an improvement, that's not good. But yeah, there was improvement. Still very weak on this left side. But yeah, like that was probably, apart from the fact of almost dying, which I still don't just think that didn't happen, but like that was probably the worst part of everything. Yeah, and being alone during that. But I am so grateful, so grateful that I do not have anything else wrong with me. I can live with asthma. I can live with this. Got a whole box of medication. If you follow me on Instagram, I have been updating everyone, but this is like the medicine box at the moment with all the puffers. This is the main puffer. This is just, woo. These are your reliever puffers, like to use as a PRN. This one, which I had before, is the steroid puffer. I also use this as a PRN, but I use it in combination, so I can have up to 24 puffs a day of this. I've already had 6 or 8 today. I think I've had 8. So, and I can have up to 12 of this at a time, and I can have up to 10 and 2 at a time, and I can have either of these every hour. They all do different things. I was also sent home with doxycycline or something. That's a pneumonia medication. So it was kind of up in the air whether I had like a bacterial pneumonia or a viral pneumonia. So they just put me on it because he goes, that covers like all chest stuff. So even if it was like bronchitis, chest infection, anything starting, because I wasn't sick at this point, it was post-viral. They just did it. So I'm on my last one of those today. So it has been unbelievable. I have zero energy. Like even talking like this, this is taking me all day to record. But I think it's really important, especially as mums, that you see other mums that are going through difficult stuff, and you need me to tell you, take the break. You need to take this time, lay low. Doesn't matter about the house. It doesn't matter about anything. You just do what you need to do. Like today, I have taken kids to school. Last night I made 3 lunch boxes and I cooked a little bit of dinner with my husband's help. I've got a basket system where the washing, so I've got washing over there, and then I've got baskets in their room, and I'm, between me and my husband, we're just putting on a wash, and then as soon as it's dry, I just fold, chuck in their baskets. You know, you just do whatever you have to do. This week's going to be extremely hard, and my husband, at the moment, my poor husband as well, because he had his diverticulitis diagnosis, he was due for colonoscopy today. So he's been dealing with that, and he's currently under now having that done, and thank goodness my dad helped us because I couldn't drive him. So like it's just all happening, and that's what happens sometimes. Everything happens at once, and you know, we are super mums, we are super women and super dads and super parents, but sometimes we just need to not accept defeat, but just be like, okay, this is my recoup time now. And like I'm napping all the time. There's just zero energy, and if I push myself, I'm just going to end up back in there. So if you're unwell, I know we're coming into winter and everything. If you're unwell or someone's unwell and you're caring for someone else, like just let everything else go. And I know for some people it's really hard. And like he's full of beans. Come on. He has got so much energy. And you know, he doesn't understand that I'm not 100%. He just keeps saying you almost died. My poor boy. Did Mummy go in the ambulance? Yeah. Twice, huh? They were nice ambulance people though, weren't they? They looked after Mummy. So, yes.
That's the end of the book.
I'm going to keep recovering.
Yeah, that's the end.
That's the end?
Yep.
No, I have a follow-up appointment tomorrow with my GP. And I'm hoping I don't end up back in hospital anytime soon. But this, now I know how, hang on. Now I know how to manage like the symptoms and how to, I still have trouble breathing, but it's just fatigue, it's muscle fatigue. And obviously the improvement from like Friday, like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to now it's Monday is amazing. Like I'm getting stronger every day. But please be aware of asthma symptoms. I also want to take this opportunity to tell everyone to please have a blue puffer somewhere in your bag, in your car, in your first aid box. They're about $10. Just Ventolin, or you can get Asmol, which is a cheaper version, same stuff. Have a spacer, very important to have a spacer. You get more in with a spacer. All you do is insert into here and you'll do one spray like this, and then obviously over your mouth. No, I'll do that again. So all you do is one spray.
What are you doing? Is that the
Showing
end?
them 4 breaths. 1 puff, 4 breaths, 4 times. You can save someone's life or even your own. So please, if you're able to at least get this, have that in your car. Stay safe. I hope, as winter has now approached us in Australia, hope you all stay well. Please look after yourselves, mums. If you're not feeling well, please take the time to go and get yourself looked at. I didn't. I just thought, oh, you know, it's fine, it's fine. You know, I wasn't fine. So please make sure we put us first too for our health. And I will see you back with my normal vlogs, hopefully very, very soon. Say bye.